Nitrosites, it is your boy the Nitro General here, and welcome back to another top 5 video. And in today's video, as you can tell by the title and by the first slide here, we're going to be talking about the top 5 Pokemon I wish were better competitively. If you guys have been watching the channel for any amount of time, or even just look at any of the last videos I posted, you would know that I am really into competitive Pokemon. I love competitive Pokemon. I think it's extremely fun. However, not every Pokemon has competitive viability. If you watch any official competitions, which they record and put on YouTube and stuff like that, you see that there's only a handful of Pokemon that get a lot of usage. And a lot of these other Pokemon are left, back in the dirt, in the dust, and people don't ever use them. Now, of course, in other competitive videos and stuff like that, you'll see people using other Pokemon that you don't normally see in like VGC competitions. However, these 5 Pokemon I'm going to be talking about today, I have not seen anybody use at all, because they are just not good. Something about their stats is not great, their move pool, stuff like that are just lackluster and just not good enough for people to put on their team. Now, there is one on this list that maybe could be useful, but again, it's just, I'll talk about it when we get to it, but it is just still not really good. So I am going to be talking about 5 Pokemon that I wish were better competitively. Ones that I like the look of, or I just love using in general, but just aren't good competitively. So let's just jump right into the video. If you guys are excited, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. You can go check out my top 5 playlist if you want. Go check out any of the other top 5s that I have posted on the channel. There's not a ton, but I do enjoy posting these type of videos from time to time. So let's get right into it. So the first one on this list is Persian. Now, I've always been a big fan of Persian. I'm a cat person. I love Persian. However, it was never really good. The only reason that it was given any shine at all in the anime or in the games or whatever is because it's the signature Pokemon of Team Rocket's lead, Giovanni. And he always used it in the games and in the TV show. And I remember as a kid watching that TV show and wishing that I had a giant panther cat that would just like sit and lay in a bed next to me. That would be really dope. But I always loved it. I do wish it had a better shiny. Of course, the only really thing that changes, I believe, is the color of the ears and the dot on its head. Why I'm pointing to the dot on my head, I don't know. There is no dot on my head. But I think it changes from red to blue, I believe. And it's just a really, really, really awesome Pokemon. And I wish that it was better competitively. However, if you look at its stats right here, it has a base 440 stat total, which is not great. And the only thing it has going for it is its base 115 speed. That is pretty good. But other than that, it is not good. It's got 65 HP. 60 in defense, and 65 in special defense, meaning that it's not going to be taking hardly any hits at all. Even if you invest in its HP or its defenses, it's not going to be taking very many hits. And then it has a base 65 special attack and a base 70 attack. So neither of those are really that good. 70 is, I guess it's not awful, but it's not good either. And it doesn't really get too many good competitive moves that it can use to hit its attacking. Hit its attack that it can hit using its attack. It doesn't get a ton. It does get stuff like takedown, and it does get some moves when you teach it TMs and TRs. However, a Pokemon like this, you are going to want to be getting that extra boost of the stab, meaning that it's using the same type of move as it's typing. It's kind of hard to give a Pokemon with only base 70 attack an attacking move that's not normal, because it is not going to be getting the stab boost. And it's just not going to be doing a ton of damage, in general. Now, it does get setup moves. It does get nasty plot. However, again, it does not... I don't think there's any there is, I guess, a couple special normal type moves. However, Persian doesn't get access to any of it. So it does get access to things like Thunderbolt and Power Gem and stuff like that. And I guess you could use a nasty plot to set up with Persian. However, most of the time, if you were going to be using Persian, you were going to be using an low-end Persian and not a regular Persian. If you ever see Persian being used competitively, it is being used as an low-end Persian, which is a little bit better because it is a dark type. It has a little bit better stats, and can obviously hit harder with its physical type attacks with like Crunch and stuff like that, because it is, and it can nasty plot up with Dark Pulse and stuff like that. However, normal typing is just not a great typing, as you will see when I talk about another Pokemon later in this video. I just always love Persian, and I really, really wish that it got more usage. Now, I guess it is worth mentioning that all of these Pokemon, I guess, can be used at one point or another in Draft League. But Draft League is a totally different whole competitive thing, because you know what Pokemon your opponent is going to have. You don't know which ones they're going to be bringing, but you know that they have, like, I think it's like 10 Pokemon or something. You know that they have these 10 Pokemon. So I guess you can bring Persian if it has like Thunderbolt or something for something like a, I don't know, Kingdra is the first thing that popped into my head. I don't know. So I guess you could use these competitively in Draft League. However, even Persian does not get any use in Draft League. But I am talking about like online VGC battling or VGC official tournaments, strictly. So I just wish Persian was better. I really, really love the design. I love in Let's Go where you could just ride on his back. I think it's super cool. I love its walking animation in Sword and Shield. I just think it's awesome, and I just wish it was better competitively. So the next one on this list is Glalie. I guess another thing I should note or mention is that I'm only going to be talking about Pokemon that are available to use right now in Pokemon Sword and Shield, or in the future in Pokemon Sword and Shield. However, there's none from the Crown Tundra in this video, because really there's no point in talking about a Pokemon that you're not even going to be able to use competitively right now, that I wish was better competitively, because you can't use it. So yeah. So the second one on this list is Glalie. Now, I was going to go for Frostlass, but Frostlass does get some competitive viability because it being a ghost-type Pokemon. However, Glalie is just pure ice. Now, it did get a little bit more use in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon because it had the Mega Evolution. However, it was one of the least used Mega Evolutions. A lot of people did not use Glalie, even with its Mega. And I always thought Glalie was a super, super cool Pokemon, just a giant floating head. And Ice is a pretty good defensive and offensive typing competitively, where you see Pokemon like Avalugg or Mamoswine. Those are really good competitive Pokemon that always have something going for them. Avalugg being a super bulky Pokemon, and Mamoswine being ground typing too, so that makes it better competitively. However, Glalie is just plain ice, and it is weak to a lot of different stuff, like rock, like I think ground too, fighting, fire, all that stuff. It is weak to, and it sucks because it also doesn't get a great move pool. And as you can see here in its stats, it is base 480, which isn't terrible. However, it has base 80 in every stat, and that is not great, especially when you are trying to invest in its EVs and IVs. You are most of the time going to be going in HP and then either attack or defense, or attack or special attack. So it is nice that you can choose whatever Glalie you want to go with, a physical, an offensive physical type hitter or a special type hitter. It can use stuff like Ice Beam, or it can use stuff like Icicle Crash. It does get access to both of those moves, and that's the only thing that's nice about it. However, as you can see, the website that I use, this color coordinates the stats. So if it's red, then it's not good, and if it's yellow, then it's alright, and then if it's green, it's really good. I believe that's what it is. And all of his stats are in the red. It is just, Glalie is just not a good Pokemon offensively, and it just sucks because I always thought he was a really, really awesome Pokemon, and I wish he got better moves. And his move pool is very, very bland. He doesn't get a ton of other attacks, even with TMs and TRs. He doesn't get a ton of coverage. So he does get stuff like I think he gets stuff like Rock Blast or Rock Slide or something. I'm not sure if he gets Rock Slide, but I know he gets Crunch, stuff like that. But again, it's not being stabbed. And when you have a Pokemon with stats like this, you want it to have access to a decent stab type move, like Icicle Crash or Ice Beam. Because if you give it a coverage move that it's not stab for, and it doesn't have a decent attack or special attack, then it's not going to be doing a ton of damage regardless, even if the Pokemon is weak to that type of move. So I just wish Glalie was better. It is definitely one of the Pokemon on this list that I didn't realize was in Sword and Shield until I looked. I have one that I transferred from home, but I guess it's a very forgettable Pokemon. I just wish it was better, because I remember really liking it in the anime and stuff like that. And when I saw it, I was like, I didn't even know Glalie was in the game, because you never see anybody using it. So that was just something that I really wanted to talk about, was Glalie, because it is a forgettable Pokemon that I just wish was better. So let's get on to the next one. And coming in the number 3 spot is Frosmoth, the only new Pokemon on this list. Now, Frosmoth has a base 475 base stat total, which is decent, and it has a really good special attack and an alright and a decent special defense. However, which is good, because a lot of the typing of attacks that is going to be damaging the Frosmoth are going to be special attacks, because it is bug and ice, which means that it does have a 4 times weakness to fire attacks, which means that flamethrowers, overheats, eruptions, all that stuff are going to be doing less damage, because it has a base 90 special defense. However, everything else is really bad. Its HP is 70, its attack is 65, defense is 60, and its speed is 65. This is not a Pokemon that is going to be going first in anything. It does get access to Quiver Dance, which is nice, and that is a decent stab type move. However, it doesn't get access to stuff like Icicle Crash and stuff like that, which I guess you wouldn't really normally use on it. You'd use like Ice Beam or Bug Buzz or stuff like that. It doesn't get access to those moves either, which I think sucks, because I always wish Frosmoth was better. However, I actually tried using one competitively when I first got my shiny Snom, and it was not good, because it's going to be taking a lot of damage from a lot of stuff, and it is not fast enough to be outspeeding a lot of stuff. And I know there are a lot of people who really like Frosmoth, including like A-Drive and stuff like that, and Frosmoth is just lackluster in a lot of categories, and I think it's really, really awesome, and it just sucks that it couldn't get more usage in the competitive scene. I guess you could run a Quiver Dance set. This is probably the best Pokemon on this list competitively. However, it is just a Pokemon that I wish was a little bit better. I wish it had a little bit more in its speed stat, and I wish it was a little bit more bulky. Give it like a base 90 HP stat or something like that. I don't know. Something to give it a little bit more viability, because Bug is not a very good typing. Now, Ice, like I said before with Glalie, is a decent offensive and defensive typing. However, Frosmoth is one of the least bulky ice types that you can use in the metagame. There is better bug types, and there are better ice types, frankly, too, to be using. Like I said before, Mamoswine and Avalugg are both better ice types, and Scissor and Heracross are both better bug types. And to be honest, a lot of Pokemon get access to stuff like Ice Beam. A lot of water types get access to stuff like Ice Beam. So there's less of a need for an ice type Pokemon on a team when you could just run Inteleon with Ice Beam or something like that, because it's just not great. And it just sucks. I wish it was a little bit better. It is probably the best Pokemon on this list, like I mentioned, but it is just not great. So coming in at the number 4 spot, and these last two are ones that I have wanted to be better for so long, and I've tried using both of these so many times, and they just don't work. So coming in at the number 4 spot is Ninjask, which is another bug-type Pokemon. And like I said, bug-type Pokemon are not very good competitively, and they're harder to use. And Ninjask is just not a great Pokemon. It's got a base 456 stat total. And the only reason it has a higher stat total is because it has a base 160 speed, which is phenomenal. It is one of the fastest, if not the fastest, Pokemon in the entire game. However, look at its other stats. 90 in attack is okay. Is decent, but its HP is 61, its defense is 45, special attack 50, and special defense is 50. Now, Ninjask, bug-type Pokemon are not great, like I said. However, any of the good bug-type moves, like Skitter, I think is Skitter spec special? I don't know. But a lot of them are special, like Bug Buzz and stuff like that. So, I don't know if Ninjask I don't think it gets access to Quiver Dance. And even if it did, it wouldn't benefit from it that much. Because it can't use a special attack. 50 is atrocious. 45 is atrocious. This thing can't take any hits. The only time I could ever see Ninjask doing anything is if it outspeeds and it hits once. Because if it gets hit by anything, it is going to go down. And I think I could see this Pokemon getting a lot more usage if it had higher defenses. But it just doesn't. Why 61 in HP? I don't know. That was really weird when I was researching for this video. I was like, 61 is really weird. And it would make the base stat total a clean 455 instead of a 456 if it wasn't a 61. I don't totally know, but that's just weird to me. But it's just not great. But I love Ninjask's design. I think it is super cool. I have a lot of nostalgia for the Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and I always loved the fact that I could get 2 Pokemon with Ninjask's evolution, or Nincada's evolution, I should say. And I thought that was really, really awesome. I've used Ninjask in games many times because I love the Pokemon. However, I have never had success using it competitively because it is so bad. However, I'd like to try. I just love this Pokemon so much, and I'd like to try to use it. But it just can't take a hit. That is the only thing. If it had better defenses, I think it would be widely used because of its speed and attack stats. Because its attack stat is actually decent. But it just doesn't do anything. It may get 1 or 2 hits off, and that is it. Even moves that aren't super effective against Ninjask, I could see just OHKOing it in 1 hit. And it is a bug flying type, which means that it is weak to fire, which is very prevalent in the game. And I just think Ninjask, I wish it was a better Pokemon. That is the only thing. Now, coming into the number 5 spot is actually one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. One in my top 10 favorite Pokemon. If you guys want to go see what my top 10 is, you can go check it out. It's in the top 5 playlist. I know it's a top 10, but it's basically just 2 top 5s in one. And I talk about all my favorite Pokemon, why they're my favorite Pokemon, stuff like that. If you guys want to check it out, let me know. I may make an updated version using stuff like this. So it is a little bit more professional looking, but yeah. So let's get on to number 5, which is Cinccino. I am not the biggest fan of Generation 5. I think Black and White and Black and White 2 are probably my least favorite Pokemon games. They're still awesome games. I love Pokemon in general. They're just my least favorite. If you guys want to know why they're my least favorite, you can go check out my opinions in every Pokemon game, which I don't think is in a playlist, but it's on the channel, so if you guys want to go watch that too, you can. But I just don't like Generation 5 that much. I don't really care for the Pokemon as much. However, Cinccino is the only exception because it is my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon, and it is an amazingly cute Pokemon. I don't know why I love it so much. It is just so adorable, but it is just not that good. It's got a 470 base stat total. The only thing it has going for it is its speed and attack, just like Ninjask. Now, it does have 5 more points in attack than Ninjask. However, its speed is 115, not 160, but it is still pretty good speed, and it can be outspeeding stuff, and it can be hitting stuff hard. However, just like Ninjask, its defenses are absolutely terrible. 60, 65, and 60 are very bad, and then 75 in HP. And it's not going to be taking a ton of hits. However, it's going to be taking more hits than Ninjask. But the one thing I believe that's holding Cinccino back, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Cinccino, however you pronounce it. Cinocchio or something like that. I don't know. The one thing that I think is holding Cinccino back is its move pool. It gets no coverage at all. If you look at its level up moves, it doesn't get anything. I think it learns like 1 or 2 moves leveling up that are not normal type moves or don't do any damage. So, which, of course, there are a lot of moves that don't do damage that are really good competitively. However, Cinccino doesn't get access to anything. It doesn't get access to any setup moves. You know, it doesn't get access to Sword Stance, which I wouldn't expect it to. It doesn't get access to Bulk Up. It doesn't get access to anything to even raise its attack. It doesn't get access... You know, maybe if this thing had Belly Drum, it could have usage, but it doesn't have Belly Drum. And even Belly Drum, I think, would be risky, because if you don't run a berry on it, it's not going to be taking any hits anyways. So, I don't know. I just really wish it was better. I have a shiny one that I've had for the longest time. I've tried using it competitively, and I just can't make it work. And I just really wish that I could. But it just sucks, because it is the only Pokemon that is in my top 10 favorite list that doesn't get any competitive usage because it's so bad. Now, I have seen it get a little bit usage in Draft League. However, outside of Draft League, it doesn't get any usage whatsoever. It's just not a good Pokemon, and I so wish... This is the one that I wish the most was better competitively. Now, of course, it does get TMs and stuff like that. It does get access to, like, Thunderbolt and stuff like that, but it doesn't get... Again, Thunderbolt would not be that good on him because he has a 65 base special attack, and if it has that low of a special attack, you are going to want it to be a normal type move. And I think it does get access to Hyper Voice. I'm not 100% sure. It either did get... No, I am 100% sure. It either did get access to Hyper Voice, or it has now. It might not anymore, but I know in like previous games it had Hyper Voice, so it might get access to that, which is like the only special attacking normal type move, one of the only ones, except for like Hyper Beam, which it does get access to. I don't even think Hyper Beam's in the game, to be honest with you, but I just wish it was better. And that is just the main point of this video, is to kind of talk about all these Pokemon that don't get any use in the competitive scene because of their base stat total. And I wish that Cinccino was shown a little bit more love, whether if it's coverage moves or whatever, but it just doesn't. And even though it has a good speed stat and a decent attack stat, it just doesn't get anything good. I think it gets stuff like Takedown and Tail Slap and stuff like that. However, when do you see any of those moves used in competitive? Never. And it just sucks that it doesn't, you know, it doesn't even get, like, it might get Body Slam. I don't know. I don't think so, though. It doesn't look like a Pokemon that would Body Slam. You know, I'd like a Pokemon like that to sit on because it's all fluffy. Don't take that out of context. Don't take that out of context. I'm just saying is that this Pokemon looks like a little stuffed animal, and if I looked at this Pokemon, I would say it wasn't good competitively anyways, because it just looks like a cute normal type Pokemon. It's not the Pikachu clone. It definitely looks like a Pikachu clone, but it's not a Pikachu clone. I think, wait, what is the... It's, not the Dene, that's Generation 6. Oh my god, it's escaping me. What is the Pikachu clone of Black and White? It's, Emolga. Yeah, that's it. Emolga is the Pikachu clone, which is... It is a Pikachu clone because it's electric type. You can even look it up, but, the only Pikachu clone that's not an electric type is Meryl, which, just fun fact. But yeah, so I just wish Cinccino was better. So that is the end of the video, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you like videos like this, the top 5, if you like the whole slides thing rather than just looking at my face, and let me know, because I enjoy making stuff like this, and I enjoy recording the videos too. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave a like down below, subscribe, hit all that stuff, hit that bell so you don't miss the videos. Of course, I do a lot of Pokemon Showdown and stuff on this channel too, so if you guys want to go check out the Pokemon Showdown playlist, go check that out. I just uploaded a new video last night with a brand new team. Never used it in any videos before up until the video last night, and I really enjoyed making it. So if you guys like the video, again, leave a like and stuff like that, and like I say at the end of every video, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Nitro General out. Peace.